to be reading some quotes by Donald Trump. And the reason I wanted to do this video is because Donald Trump is a hot topic right now. A lot of people are going crazy because this guy has done so well in these primary elections, and a lot of people hate him, and also a lot of people like him. Most hate him, but regardless, he is the Republican frontrunner, so people are voting for him. Now, these quotes that I'm going to read, they're not necessarily good quotes or bad quotes. Some might be good, others might be outrageous. But regardless, this is not really, I'm not being biased. I'll just say that. I'm actually just reading these quotes off of a website I pulled up. So, again, some of them might be good, some might be bad. So, just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Sometimes, by losing a battle, you find a new way to win the war. You have to think anyway, so why not think big? I have a great relationship with the Mexican people. In the end, you're measured not by how much you undertake, but by what you finally accomplish. You know, the funny thing, I don't get along with rich people. I get along with the middle class and the poor. People better than I get along with the rich people. Our politicians are stupid, and the Mexican government is smarter, much sharper, much more cunning, and they send the bad ones over because they don't want to pay for them. They don't want to take care of them. Why should they when the stupid leaders of the United States will do it for them? Part of being a winner is knowing when enough is enough. Sometimes you have to give up the fight and walk away and move on to something that's more productive. When somebody challenges you, fight back. Be brutal. Be tough. Without passion, you don't have energy. Without energy, you have nothing. That's one of the nice things. I mean, part of the beauty of me is that I'm very rich. So if I need 600 million, I can put 600 million myself. That's a huge advantage. I must tell you, that's a huge advantage over the other candidates. See what I did there? Do you mind if I sit back a little because your breath is very bad? I'm assuming that was one of his interviews with a reporter. If I'm not mistaken, Donald Trump is not a fan of the media. One of the key problems today is that politics is such a disgrace. Good people don't go into government. What separates the winners from the losers is how a person reacts to each new twist of fate. If I were a liberal Democrat, People would say I'm the super genius of all time. If you're a conservative Republican, you've got to fight for your life. It's really an amazing thing. It's always good to be underestimated. So we really need jobs now. We have to take jobs away from other countries because other countries are taking our jobs. There is practically not a country that does business with the United States that isn't making, let's call it a very big profit. I mean, China is going to make $300 billion on us, at least this year. I actually don't have a bad hairline. Private jets cost a lot of money. Anyone who thinks my story is anywhere near over is sadly mistaken. Money was never a big motivation for me, except as a way to keep score. The real excitement is playing the game. Experience taught me a few things. One is to listen to your gut, no matter how good something sounds on paper. The second is that you're generally better off with sticking with what you know. And third is that sometimes your best investments are the ones you don't make. If you're interested in balancing work and pleasure, stop trying to balance them. Instead, make your work more pleasurable. I feel a lot of people listen to what I have to say. I love Wisconsin. It's a great place. Obama has no solutions. Obama has failed the country and its great citizens. And they don't like it when somebody such as myself speaks the truth about this. It hurts too much. The Arab League tells us to go in and take out Gaddafi. We've spent billions of dollars already with respect to the Arab League. Billions of dollars because they told us to do it. Why aren't they paying for it? They don't like Gaddafi. Gaddafi's been a terrible thorn in their side. I have made tough decisions, always with an eye toward the bottom line. Perhaps it's time America was run like a business. The point is that you can't be too greedy. I could never have imagined that firing 67 people on national television would actually make me more popular, especially with the younger generation. One thing about television, it brings out personality. People are able to watch me in action. They hear my voice and see my eyes. There's nothing I can hide. That's me. Television brings out your flaws, your weaknesses, your strengths, and your truth. The audience either likes you or it doesn't. I try to learn from the past, but I plan for the future by focusing exclusively on the present. That's where the fun is. If you look at what's going on with your gasoline prices. They're going to go to $5, $6, and $7. And we don't have anybody in Washington that calls OPEC and says, fellas, it's time. It's over. You're not going to do it anymore. I'm the number one developer in New York. I'm the biggest in Atlantic City, and maybe we'll keep it that way. Mitt. What I speak to Mitt Romney about is jobs. What I speak to Mitt Romney about is China, because he's got a great view on China and how they're trying to destroy our country by making our jobs and making our product and manipulating their currency so that it makes it almost impossible for our companies to compete. All of the women on The Apprentice flirted with me, consciously or unconsciously. That's to be expected. But I believe in fair trade, and I will tell you, I have many, many friends heading up corporations, and people that do just business in China, they say is virtually impossible. It's very, very hard to come into China, and yet we welcome them with open arms. Obama does not like the issue of where he was born. I don't like losers. I get called all these horrible names by Lindsey Graham, who I don't even know. Owning a great golf course gives you great power. Getting things done in this country, if you want to build something, if you want to start a company, it's getting to be virtually impossible with all of the bureaucracy and all of the approvals. A certificate of live birth is not the same thing by any stretch of the imagination as a birth certificate. The debt limits have to come down. The whole world of debt has to be changed as far as this country is concerned. We have to create jobs, and we have to create them rapidly, because if we don't, things are just going to head in a direction that's going to be almost impossible to recover from. I support healthcare for people. I want people well taken care of, but I also want healthcare that we can afford as a country. I have people and friends closing down their businesses because of Obamacare. People might not think that, but all the Republicans, People might not think that, but the Republicans have all the cards, and this is the time to get rid of Obamacare. This is the time to make a great deal. I saw a report yesterday. There's so much oil all over the world. They don't know where to dump it, and Saudi Arabia says, oh, there's too much oil. They came back yesterday. Did you see the report? They want to reduce oil production. Do you think they're our friends? They're not our friends. Somebody made the statement that Donald Trump has built or owns the greatest collection of golf courses ever in the history of golf, and I believe that it is 100% true. Hillary Clinton was the worst Secretary of State in the history of the country. The world came apart under her reign as Secretary of State. I think Ronald Reagan was one of the great presidents, period. Not just recently. I thought he had the demeanor. I thought he had the bearing. I thought he had the thought process. The Obama representatives, like Robert Gibbs, attack people viciously, but people like me will not be silent and will answer them back. I have use the laws of this country just like the greatest people that you read about every day in business have used the laws of this country, the chapter laws, to do a great job for my company, for myself, for my employees, for my family, etc. Jimmy Carter used to walk off the airplane carrying his own luggage. Do you remember that? I don't want my president carrying. I want the freaking Marines to be carrying his luggage. And they want to carry his luggage. You have to blast buildings in Manhattan. And the buildings went up in Manhattan because of the power of that bedrock. Once you dig that foundation, and they dig with dynamite, and once you dynamite out and you secure that foundation, that building isn't going anywhere. It's tangible, it's solid, it's beautiful, it's artistic from my standpoint, and I just love real estate. It's not like I'm anti-China. I just think that it's ridiculous that we allow them to do whatever they're doing to this country with the manipulation of the currency that you write about and understand, and all the other things that they do. I mean, there's no arguing, there is no anything, there is no beating around the bush. You're fired is a very strong term. Everything in life is luck. I have an attention span that's as long as it has to be. We need a great president. The first thing the secretary types is the boss. If people can just pour into our country illegally, you don't have a country. Our military has to be strengthened. Our vets have to be taken care of. We have to end Obamacare, and we have to make our country great again, and I will do that. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe. Most importantly, if you have any suggestions or anything, just leave that in the comments. Alright